Hello, Western Guy 25 here, and I just want to talk about 3 games that go for a ridiculous amount high price on eBay and wherever else, especially eBay, because I think there's a lot of assholes that want to just get a lot more extra money profit for these 3 games that are on 3 different platforms. Well, some of them are multiple platforms or whatever. Actually, I think all 3. But whatever. The point is that for one, I want to talk about Rule of Rose. Rule of Rose is a PS2 exclusive. So yeah, that one right there is only on one platform. But anyways, I just want to say is that Real Rose goes for on eBay for $500 to $600, and I think that's a little too much. And I think that's because of COVID. So people on eBay are thinking, oh, COVID, so COVID prices. Well, I think they're just being greedy and an asshole and whatnot, or multiple people being an asshole. So yeah, I think that it should go for a high price since it is kind of rare, but I don't think it's that rare. I think it made at least a couple million copies, so I don't think it should go that high. The highest I think it should go for is maybe at the highest, maybe $100 or 150, anywhere from 100 to 150. Because that might get affordable for anybody that wants to buy at least one copy of it to just collect it or collect it and play it. And I think most people are gonna collect it and play it, like me. But I'm not just doing this video just to try to help me out. I'm not trying to change people's minds, and this may not help to change prices for these 3 games that I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna mention 2 of them in a second. But yeah, Rule of Rose may be sought after, but I think that it should go for no more than $100 or $150 and whatnot, and that'd be a reasonable price for the game and whatnot. So yeah, it'll help out a lot of people, not just me that wants to get it. But yeah, the other game I'm talking about is Snatcher. That goes for over $1,100 on eBay, maybe a little bit less, I think. But other than that, it's like, I think it should be no more. That might be a little bit more rare than Rule Rose, but I think it should go for no more than maybe at the highest, maybe $250, $300. Maybe 400, but no more than 400 for the game, because it may be really rare, but I don't think it's that rare, because it probably did have like a little over 1 million copies. But yeah, so I think that it should be just about $500, $600 difference lower than what someone on eBay wants it for. How much money that they want for the game. And it's like, I think it's because of COVID, and that's why I'm being told by one person. But the thing is, a game shouldn't increase value just because of COVID for certain titles. That doesn't make any sense. That's kind of stupid. Just because of COVID doesn't mean that price needs to increase. It needs to stay around the same what it was last time, or lower the price down just by a little bit or something, or at least by a good chunk. But yeah, because I think that a lot of sellers on eBay is just being assholes and whatnot, and being a little too much greedy, because not too many people is gonna buy it for that much, for over $1,100. But yeah, the third game I want to talk about is what is it called? It's called Now I kind of forgot what the third game was called, but I did have it on the top of my mind. Oh yeah, it was Stubbs the Zombie: Rebel Without a Pulse for the PC and Xbox, original Xbox. Yeah, and it also came on Mac too, but that's the cheapest version, which is the Mac version. But the PC and Xbox version, especially the Xbox version, it goes for $112 or something like that. A little over $100. $100? No. I think that game is a little bit more common than the other two, because I think it mass produced a little bit more. But and I believe it did. But anyways, it shouldn't be no over $100. I would value that game at no more than $50, $60 for that game in today's time. So I believe that that game doesn't need to be priced up any more higher than maybe $60, because I definitely pay $60 for that game. And if you can't price it for $60, man, I think you're being an asshole and being too much greedy about it. So yeah, that game may be very popular especially when it came out for the PC and Xbox and Mac, but I don't think that game is really all that much rare, and I think it's because of COVID that they raised the price on that game. Somebody did anyways, or a couple people, or a few, because some prices are a little bit different than 112 or whatever. But yeah, Stubbs the Zombie, like I said, that's a game I definitely want to get, but the thing is, I'm not paying no over $100 for it, because I believe that it should be more valued at like $60 for the game. Because it's like, not just because brand new games go for $60 or $70 in today's time for brand new games, but because I believe that where the value will be hitting at is $60, and a lot of people, a lot of other people besides me, would definitely like to buy it for at least for that price, at the very most, that is, and collect it or collect and play it, which that's what I do. I collect and play games. I don't buy them to collect them just because they're very super high up in price, or pretty high in price. But yeah, I just want to get those 3 games out of the way that I think that should be lower for the prices that I mentioned for all 3 games. And I think that this video might change that, but if not, then oh well. But it's like, I think that a lot of you are overpricing the games and just want a little bit more extra cash. And I know that money makes the world go round and all and whatnot, and that's our trade system, is dollar amounts. But I think you're being a little too much greedy on it. I think it should, all those games with prices that I named for each and every single one of those games, for all 3 games, are a reasonable price, and I don't think you'd be losing out on much, or you won't be losing out at all. You still make a good profit. But yeah. Anyways, this is WrestleGuy25, and I'll catch you later on the next one, and y'all have a good one now. See ya.